I've spent over 4 decades of my life as a physician. Now retired, I sit in my quiet study, far away from the rush of hospital corridors, and I reflect on the thousands of patients who sat before me, many of them seniors, all asking the same desperate question. Doctor, why are my legs giving up on me? Some would say it softly, with a trembling voice. Others would burst into tears because climbing a single flight of stairs had become a painful battle. Their legs grew heavier, their balance weakened, their joints ached even after only a short walk. Yet, these were not people who had neglected their health. They were good people, disciplined. They exercised. They ate their fruits and vegetables. They followed what modern health advice told them. And that, my dear friends, is where the tragedy begins. You see, throughout my career, I discovered a terrible truth that few dare to speak aloud. It's a truth hidden beneath years of well-intended advice, polished articles, and glossy pictures of colorful fruit bowls printed in health magazines. We've been conditioned to believe that fruits are the ultimate symbol of health, natural, safe, healing. But for aging bodies, particularly for those crossing into their 60s, 70s, and beyond, not all fruits are your friend. Some, in fact, may be silently betraying you. You've likely never been warned because no one wants to question what we've accepted as universally good. But aging changes everything. The metabolism you had in your 30s is no longer the one you carry in your 70s. The arteries that once flexed easily now grow stiff and delicate. Your ability to process sugar diminishes. Your joints no longer tolerate inflammation the way they once did. And here lies the hidden trap. Many fruits that once supported your health now quietly become the very source of your decline. It sounds unbelievable, I know. When I first uncovered the connection, even I was hesitant to accept it. But years of watching my patients suffer while doing everything right forced me to look deeper. And what I found was shocking. Certain fruits, the ones you likely eat every single week, can slowly strip away your strength, sap your balance, and rob you of your independence without you even realizing it. You don't feel the danger immediately. There's no sharp alarm, no sudden pain that makes you stop. Instead, these fruits work like silent saboteurs, infiltrating your system day after day, gradually weakening the very legs that carry you through life. One morning you wake up and your knees feel stiffer. Walking to the mailbox becomes harder. Sitting down feels comfortable, but rising up becomes a struggle. The stairs you used to climb with ease now resemble a steep mountain. And as months pass, you begin to rely more on handrails, canes, or loved ones. You tell yourself, it's just part of aging. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be? What if I told you that hidden behind your fruit bowl lies one of the greatest traps accelerating your joint pain, muscle weakness, balance problems, and mobility loss? Not because fruits are inherently evil, but because certain fruits, when consumed by aging bodies, trigger biochemical storms inside you that quietly attack your circulation, inflame your joints, spike your blood sugar, and disturb your fragile metabolic balance. The tragedy is that no one warns you. Your doctor likely never mentioned it. The nutritionist at the clinic didn't bring it up. Even medical journals rarely discuss it, not because they don't know, but because these silent effects are subtle, long-term, and easy to overlook amidst the more obvious risk factors we battle in modern medicine. But after 4 decades of sitting with thousands of seniors, examining swollen ankles, burning knees, aching thighs, and exhausted feet, I can no longer stay silent. I've seen this pattern repeat too many times. The patients who did everything right, but still lost their mobility, were often unknowingly sabotaged by the very fruits they believed were helping them. That's why today, in this video, I'm going to reveal to you which common fruits are secretly contributing to your joint pain, leg fatigue, swelling, and even dangerous instability as you age. I'll break down exactly why these seemingly healthy choices become toxic to aging legs. But more importantly, I'll show you which powerful fruits can actually rebuild your strength, protect your circulation, and restore your independence. Because make no mistake, your legs are not just limbs. They are your freedom. Every time you rise from a chair, climb a staircase, or simply take a peaceful walk outside, you are exercising your most vital asset, your independence. The moment you lose mobility, your world shrinks, your confidence fades, and your risk for devastating falls, fractures, hospital stays, and even early death rises sharply. That is why I take this so seriously. This is not about minor aches. This is about protecting your life, So I urge you, stay with me until the end. The information I'm about to share could quite literally change the way you age. You've likely never heard it presented this way before. And once you understand these hidden truths, you will never look at your fruit bowl the same way again. Before we begin, I kindly ask for your support. If this message resonates with you, if you care about your health and want to empower yourself with knowledge that few dare to share, please subscribe to this channel. Your subscription allows me, an old retired doctor, to continue sharing life-saving insights that may help you and countless others reclaim control over your aging body. Together, we can shed light on the silent dangers most people never see. Now, as we prepare to uncover the first surprising fruit on our list, I want to leave you with a simple question to reflect on, one that many of my patients struggle to answer. Which do you believe is more dangerous as you age? A. What you don't know. B. What you believe you know but isn't true. Please type your answer, A or B, in the comment section below. I read every comment personally, and your thoughts matter more than you realize. Now let's begin this journey together and expose the hidden truth about fruits and aging that no one has told you. As I sit here sharing this with you, my dear listener, I want you to understand one thing very clearly. The fruits I am about to discuss are not inherently evil. They were never designed by nature to harm you. In fact, in younger bodies, many of these fruits offer benefits. But in my years of practice, I've witnessed again and again how these same fruits become quiet enemies to those of us who are aging. That's why I call them silent attackers, because they do not shout, they whisper. And by the time you finally hear them, often the damage is already underway. Let's begin with one of the most deceptive, pineapple. It sits in your fruit bowl, its bright yellow flesh promising tropical sweetness, and it carries a reputation for fighting inflammation thanks to its bromelain enzyme. But I've seen too many seniors come to me, complaining of unexplained swelling in their ankles, tightness in their knees, and dull aching in their thighs, and they have no idea that pineapple may be partly to blame. As you age, the acids in pineapple, combined with its natural sugars, become less friendly. Your blood vessels weaken over time, especially the tiny capillaries that deliver oxygen and nutrients to your legs. When you consume pineapple, the sugar spikes your blood glucose rapidly, and those fragile vessels struggle to handle the pressure. Circulation diminishes quietly, leaving your muscles undernourished. That's why many seniors notice leg fatigue after short walks, or find that simply standing up becomes more difficult. The acids, meanwhile, fuel inflammation in the joints. For those with arthritis or joint degeneration, it's like pouring gasoline on a smoldering fire. Next comes bananas, the seemingly harmless, convenient snack found in almost every senior's kitchen. They're praised for their potassium, their energy boost, their ability to prevent cramps. But what's rarely discussed is how quickly bananas release sugar into your bloodstream. Unlike younger bodies that handle insulin fluctuations with ease, aging bodies are far less forgiving. The insulin resistance that creeps in after 60 means that each banana you eat can trigger a sharp rise in blood sugar, followed by inflammation that lingers. I've had countless patients tell me about the heaviness in their legs after meals, or how their calves feel stiff after climbing stairs. The fluid retention associated with bananas only worsens the problem. For seniors with even mild heart issues, this retained fluid can settle in the joints, causing swollen feet, puffy ankles, and a constant, nagging discomfort. The cruel part is that many continue eating bananas, believing they are helping their muscles, not realizing they are slowly contributing to their own weakness. Then there are grapes, one of the sneakiest offenders I've encountered. Sweet, tiny, easy to snack on, and dangerously easy to overconsume. The problem lies in their high fructose content. Unlike glucose, fructose goes straight to the liver, where it is converted into fat and uric acid. This buildup of uric acid doesn't stay silent for long. It travels into your joints, your toes, ankles, knees, and begins to crystallize, causing intermittent burning pain, stiffness, and swelling. Many of my elderly patients have described sharp pain in the big toe at night or a creeping tightness in their calves they can't explain. Often, they never connect it to their afternoon snack of a few handfuls of grapes. But that innocent habit raises uric acid levels beyond what aging kidneys can safely filter. Over time, inflammation deepens, joints stiffen, and each step becomes a painful reminder of how unforgiving this fruit can be. Watermelon is another fruit that surprises many. After all, what could possibly be wrong with something that's mostly water? It's light, refreshing, and a symbol of summer. Yet behind its watery sweetness hides a very high glycemic index. When you bite into watermelon, your blood sugar rises almost as quickly as if you had eaten candy. For seniors whose insulin sensitivity has already declined, these repeated sugar surges create ongoing inflammation, especially in the lower legs where circulation tends to weaken first. I've seen seniors who struggle with persistent ankle swelling after eating watermelon, or who feel exhausted just from taking short walks after consuming this harmless fruit. The most dangerous part? Because watermelon feels so light, people often eat large portions without realizing how much sugar they're consuming. And each extra slice quietly fuels the inflammatory cycle that chips away at your mobility. Oranges present a similar problem, though for a different reason. For decades, we've been told to drink orange juice for vitamin C, for immunity, for heart health. But behind that bright, tangy flavor lies citric acid, a substance that, in aging bodies, can easily irritate joints and aggravate inflammation. Many seniors wake up with stiff knees or hips, assuming it's simply the passage of time. Yet, I've often found that daily orange consumption plays a significant role in their morning stiffness and aching joints. The acid aggravates tissues already battling low-grade inflammation, while the fruit's natural sugar further destabilizes blood glucose levels. The result is a vicious cycle of soreness, swelling, and diminished range of motion, often disguised as normal aging. Green apples are another deceptive attacker, often recommended as a healthier choice because of their lower sweetness. But don't be fooled by the tart taste. Green apples contain malic acid, the very compound that gives them their sour edge. While younger individuals tolerate malic acid easily, aging digestive systems often do not. I've seen many patients who develop persistent hip discomfort, strange tingling in their feet, or tightness in the knees after frequent green apple consumption. This acid irritates not just the stomach lining but also joint tissues as it circulates through the body. Furthermore, while green apples taste less sweet, they still contain enough sugar to disrupt blood sugar balance in seniors with slower metabolisms, contributing to nighttime cramps, tired calves, and unsteady mornings. Finally, there is mango, perhaps the most insidious of all for older adults. Juicy, vibrant, irresistibly sweet, mangoes deliver a powerful punch of natural sugar with every bite. For those under 30, an occasional mango may not pose a problem. But for seniors, every sharp rise in blood sugar becomes an invitation for inflammation to settle deep into the joints. I've treated patients who experience burning sensations in their toes, tingling feet, and swelling that worsens in the evening, all connected to regular mango consumption. Because mango feels so light and refreshing, it's easy to overeat, pushing blood sugar levels dangerously high and exhausting the body's ability to stabilize itself. Over time, this leads not only to joint pain but also to slower walking, weaker balance, and the creeping loss of independence. I share all of this not to scare you but to arm you with knowledge that very few doctors will openly discuss. These fruits are not poison, but they require respect, especially as we age. The tragedy is that most seniors consume them regularly without ever understanding the subtle damage being done beneath the surface. The changes happen slowly, quietly, almost imperceptibly, until one day you wake up and wonder how your legs became so weak. But take heart. While these silent attackers exist, there are also powerful allies, fruits that can heal, strengthen, and protect your joints as you grow older. And in the next part of our journey, I will reveal those healing fruits that I've personally recommended to my patients with tremendous success. They may very well become your greatest defense in preserving your strength, mobility, and independence. Stay with me. What you are about to learn could change your path of aging forever. As I continue to share these hidden truths with you, my dear listener, I ask for your patience and your courage. Because now, we move into even more dangerous territory. What I've revealed so far may have surprised you, but what I am about to tell you is far more alarming. These next fruits are not simply silent attackers. They are, for many seniors, silent accelerators of disease, robbing the body of its delicate balance and quietly triggering dangerous chain reactions that most people, and even many physicians, overlook entirely. Throughout my long career as a physician, I sat across from countless seniors who came to me utterly confused. They were diligent. They followed the advice given to them. And yet, they found themselves battling unexpected complications: unstable blood sugar, worsening joint pain, mysterious inflammation, and terrifying spikes in blood pressure. Time and again, I found that some of the worst culprits weren't fried foods or alcohol, but rather the very fruits they trusted as safe. Let us begin with grapes. Yes, once again, grapes. You may wonder why I mention them again, but I do so because most people fail to grasp just how deceptive this small fruit can be. On the surface, grapes seem harmless, sweet, juicy, filled with antioxidants that promise to support your heart. But when it comes to aging bodies, grapes possess two deeply troubling characteristics: concentrated sugar and near-complete lack of fiber protection. A single cup of grapes contains as much sugar as many processed candies. But unlike a candy bar, grapes are easy to consume in large quantities without realizing the total intake. The fructose within grapes strikes particularly hard in aging livers, converting rapidly into fat and uric acid, which in turn feeds systemic inflammation. But what most seniors never hear about is how this cascade contributes not only to weight gain and joint pain but also to insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and worsening cardiovascular risk. Even more unsettling, non-organic grapes are frequently coated with pesticides, invisible residues that aging immune systems struggle to detoxify. Time after time, I've witnessed my patients unknowingly burden their weakened systems by consuming bowl after bowl of these deceptively healthy snacks. Grapes for seniors are not a harmless indulgence. They are a metabolic disaster waiting to unfold. Next comes a category that I consider one of the most insidious nutritional traps laid before seniors: dried fruits. They appear so innocent, concentrated, portable, easy to snack on. But as I've told my patients for decades, dried fruits are little more than sugar bombs in disguise. When fruits are dried, the water, nature's built-in safety mechanism, is removed, leaving behind an ultra-concentrated core of sugars and calories. What once took several fresh apricots to consume can now be eaten in a single handful of dried apricots, delivering a massive surge of fructose into the bloodstream in seconds. For seniors who are already battling slower digestion, diminished insulin sensitivity, and increased systemic inflammation, this rapid sugar load is catastrophic. Blood sugar soars, inflammation deepens, and joint pain worsens. And that is merely the beginning. What deeply concerns me as a physician is that most commercial dried fruits contain sulfites, chemical preservatives designed to maintain color and extend shelf life. For younger, healthier individuals, these sulfites may cause mild reactions. But for seniors, especially those with underlying respiratory conditions like asthma, COPD, or weakened lung function, sulfites can trigger dangerous inflammatory responses, exacerbate breathing difficulties, and severely stress an already fragile system. The devastating part is that these reactions often mimic other chronic diseases, leading seniors and even doctors to miss the true source of the problem. What they mistake for worsening asthma or arthritis may, in fact, be a reaction to daily handfuls of seemingly harmless dried fruits. Now, allow me to speak of something that sounds even more surprising: unripe bananas. You may recall that I previously warned of ripe bananas, but unripe bananas present a different, and, in some ways, even more troubling danger for seniors. Unlike ripe bananas, which release sugar quickly, unripe bananas are loaded with resistant starch. This is a form of carbohydrate that resists digestion in the small intestine. For aging digestive systems which already face declining enzyme production, weakened gut motility, and compromised absorption, resistant starch becomes a perfect storm. I've treated numerous elderly patients who suffered from unexplained bloating, painful gas cramping, and severe abdominal discomfort after consuming unripe bananas, never realizing that their gut was failing to process this indigestible starch properly. Over time, this malabsorption not only disrupts nutrient uptake, already a problem in seniors, but also triggers low-grade inflammation in the gut lining itself, feeding systemic inflammation that extends into the joints, the brain, and even cardiovascular tissues. I have seen seniors struggle with declining strength and stamina, not realizing that their morning green banana was quietly interfering with nutrient absorption and fanning the flames of chronic inflammation within. And now we arrive at the most dangerous fruit on this list, one that still shocks many of my colleagues to this day: grapefruit. For years, grapefruit was marketed as the ultimate diet fruit, a weight loss aid, a breakfast staple for heart-conscious seniors. But what was rarely explained is that grapefruit contains a class of compounds called furanocoumarins. These compounds interfere with a crucial enzyme in your small intestine, known as CYP3A4, an enzyme responsible for metabolizing over 85 different prescription medications. When CYP3A4 is blocked by grapefruit, the drugs you take are no longer broken down as they should be. Instead, they accumulate in your bloodstream, leading to dangerously high and sometimes fatal drug levels. I've witnessed patients suffer devastating consequences. Muscle breakdown, kidney failure, arrhythmias, even strokes, all because of grapefruit's unsuspecting ability to hijack their medications. And what makes this so terrifying is that the interaction doesn't require large amounts of grapefruit. Even half a grapefruit or a small glass of juice can trigger this dangerous reaction, which can persist for up to 72 hours after consumption. Simply spacing out the time between your medications and your grapefruit does not prevent the interaction. That's why I always urged my patients to speak with their pharmacists and physicians whenever grapefruit was involved. The list of drugs affected is long. Cholesterol medications like atorvastatin and simvastatin, blood pressure medications, antiarrhythmic drugs, anxiety medications, even certain antihistamines and immunosuppressants. I've seen too many seniors unknowingly place themselves in grave danger because no one ever warned them that grapefruit, seemingly harmless and even recommended by some, was interacting with their life-saving prescriptions. These are not merely cautionary tales, my friends. These are lessons carved from years of sitting across from seniors whose lives were turned upside down by these silent mistakes. They believed they were making wise choices. They believed they were eating healthy, but they were walking into nutritional traps they never knew existed. And so, I share this not to frighten you, but to awaken you. Because the truth is this: knowledge is your defense. Once you understand which fruits are quietly undermining your health, you can begin making choices that support, rather than sabotage, your body's fragile balance as you age. But do not despair. For as dangerous as these fruits can be, there are others, powerful allies that can rebuild your strength, calm your inflammation, and help restore the vitality that aging tries to steal. And in the next part of our journey, I will reveal these healing fruits, the very ones I have recommended to my own patients with great success. Stay with me. The most hopeful part is yet to come. Throughout my long career as a physician, one truth has remained constant. Nature always provides both poison and remedy. Where some foods quietly chip away at your health, others have the extraordinary ability to heal, protect, and even reverse some of the damage that time and wear have inflicted. As we grow older, our bodies demand not just nutrition, but nourishment that is specifically tailored to the unique challenges of aging. Weakened circulation, inflamed joints, stiff arteries, and fragile bones. This is where certain fruits, carefully chosen, become powerful allies. I've seen these fruits transform the lives of many of my patients, and I share them with you today with great conviction. Let us begin with one that has earned its place at the very top of my recommendations for seniors: avocado. Now, I know many people don't immediately think of avocado as a fruit, but botanically it is. And unlike many other fruits, avocado is rich not in sugar, but in healthy fats, specifically monounsaturated fats led by oleic acid. These fats are nothing short of medicine for the aging body. They help reduce inflammation from within, soothe the delicate linings of blood vessels, and stabilize the fragile balance of cholesterol. In my years of practice, I have watched seniors who struggled with rising LDL cholesterol, the dangerous kind, witness steady improvements after incorporating avocado into their daily routines. Simultaneously, their HDL, the protective cholesterol, rises, shielding them from strokes and heart attacks that strike so frequently in later years. But avocado's gifts do not end there. Many of my patients were surprised when I explained that this humble fruit contains more potassium than bananas. Nearly 975 milligrams per serving. And unlike bananas, avocado delivers this potassium without the sugar load that destabilizes blood sugar. This is critical because potassium helps relax blood vessel walls, allowing blood to circulate more freely, gently lowering blood pressure without the need for additional medication in many cases. Moreover, avocado carries high concentrations of lutein, a carotenoid antioxidant that directly protects aging eyes from macular degeneration, a condition I've seen rob far too many seniors of their sight. But perhaps the most overlooked gift of avocado lies in its ability to unlock other nutrients. You see, many vitamins that seniors struggle to absorb, vitamins A, D, E, and K, require fat to be properly utilized by the body. Avocado acts as a delivery vehicle, dramatically improving nutrient absorption from other foods, maximizing the benefits of each meal. Now, allow me to speak about a fruit that many of my elderly patients often take for granted: apples. Not all apples are created equal, but when eaten ripe, they offer a collection of healing properties uniquely suited for seniors. The true power of apples lies in a remarkable soluble fiber called pectin. Pectin binds to harmful cholesterol in the digestive tract, carrying it safely out of the body and thereby helping to lower LDL levels naturally. This gentle cholesterol-clearing process is critical as arteries naturally stiffen and narrow with age. Furthermore, apples contain potent flavonoids like quercetin, compounds that actively suppress chronic inflammation throughout the body, including in the joints, heart, and even brain tissues. I have witnessed patients who once struggled with stiff joints and elevated cholesterol gradually reclaim flexibility and stability simply by adding an apple a day to their routine. What makes apples especially senior-friendly is their surprisingly low glycemic load. Despite their natural sweetness, the fiber matrix within apples slows down sugar absorption, preventing the dangerous blood sugar spikes that plague so many older adults. For my patients who battled type 2 diabetes or borderline insulin resistance, apples have provided a safe, stabilizing sweetness, satisfying the palate without disrupting metabolic balance. But their benefits don't stop there. Apples stimulate saliva production, which may seem trivial at first glance, but for seniors, this is enormously valuable. Dry mouth, cavities, and gum disease often accelerate with age, but apples help keep oral tissues moist and protected, supporting both digestion and dental health well into later years. There's another fruit that I often call nature's crimson medicine: pomegranate. Unlike many trendy superfoods, pomegranate has centuries of scientific and historical support behind it. And its healing power, especially for seniors, is nothing short of remarkable. What makes pomegranate so unique are its rare polyphenols known as polycalogens. These compounds deliver antioxidant effects far superior to red wine or green tea, fighting oxidative stress inside your arteries, preventing the very process that turns flexible vessels into brittle, hardened tubes. In my practice, I have seen pomegranate juice lower systolic blood pressure by 5 to 20% in hypertensive patients, results that rival some medications. This improved circulation means better oxygen delivery to the legs, brain, and heart, precisely where seniors need it most. But pomegranate doesn't stop at protecting the heart. It also shields the aging brain. In studies I've followed closely, seniors who consume pomegranate regularly demonstrated measurable improvements in memory and cognitive function, delaying the creeping fog of cognitive decline that terrifies so many of my elderly patients. For those who struggle with chewing due to dental difficulties, I often recommend pomegranate juice, provided it is pure, unsweetened, and free of hidden sugars, as it still delivers many of the same vascular and neurological benefits. Finally, we come to a family of fruits that I consider nothing less than neurological armor: berries. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. These tiny fruits carry some of the most potent anti-aging properties I have ever encountered in my years of clinical practice. Their power lies in compounds called anthocyanins, plant pigments that not only give berries their rich colors but also serve as powerful brain protectors. Unlike many antioxidants that struggle to cross the blood-brain barrier, anthocyanins penetrate this defense, directly neutralizing the oxidative stress that accelerates cognitive aging. In multiple studies I have reviewed, and in my own patients, berry consumption has been shown to delay cognitive decline by as much as 2.5 years, effectively preserving sharper memory, clearer thinking, and better focus in seniors. But the benefits of berries extend beyond the mind. Their anti-inflammatory effects improve balance and coordination, critical factors in fall prevention, which remains one of the greatest threats to senior independence. Cardiovascular studies consistently show that seniors who eat berries regularly experience lower blood pressure, improved arterial flexibility, and stronger heart function. And for my diabetic patients, berries are a godsend. Their natural fiber and bioactive compounds help stabilize post-meal blood sugar, preventing the roller coaster spikes that erode health over time. Even digestive health improves with berries, as their fiber gently supports gut motility and regularity without irritating sensitive digestive systems, a common problem among seniors. For maximum benefit, I always encourage my patients to choose fresh or frozen berries, avoiding dried versions that concentrate sugars and undo these protective effects. You see, my friend, while some fruits quietly sabotage the aging body, others serve as powerful protectors, if only we choose them wisely. Nature has given us both risks and remedies. It is my hope that, through understanding and informed choices, you will embrace the allies that strengthen your joints, protect your circulation, preserve your mind, and defend your independence. In the final part of our journey, I will share how simple, consistent choices can help you walk stronger, think clearer, and live longer, not through harsh restrictions but through wisdom. Stay with me. The path to aging gracefully is not found in fear, it is found in knowledge. After decades of practicing medicine, after countless hours sitting across from seniors who have entrusted me with their most vulnerable questions, I've come to understand something far deeper about aging than any textbook ever taught me. Aging, you see, is not a punishment. It is not a slow descent into helplessness. Aging is a process, one that invites us to adapt, to evolve, and to approach our health with more wisdom than we did in our younger years. And this, my dear friend, is where so many people stumble. For most of our lives, we're taught general rules about health, rules that served us well when we were 30 or 40. We followed simple formulas. Eat fruits and vegetables, stay active, avoid processed foods. But what no one tells us is that these rules must shift as we age, because our bodies change in ways we often fail to see until the consequences appear. The metabolism that once burned calories efficiently now works more slowly. The circulation that once delivered nutrients freely becomes more fragile. The joints that once flexed without complaint now stiffen and ache under pressure. Even our tolerance for certain nutrients, particularly sugars, weakens dramatically. And if we keep eating and living as we always did, our good intentions may quietly lead us into harm. That is why knowledge becomes our most powerful medicine in these later chapters of life. Understanding which foods serve us now, and which no longer serve us, allows us to take control again. Too often, I have watched seniors surrender to the myth that aging means inevitable decline. They come to me saying, "Doctor, this is just how getting old feels." But no, that is not entirely true. While we cannot stop time, we can influence how gently or how harshly time treats us. I have witnessed it personally in my patients, some who have chosen to adapt, to make modest but wise changes, and in doing so, have preserved their strength, their independence, and even extended their years with remarkable vitality. You see, you do not need to make radical, overwhelming changes to experience dramatic benefits. It is not about adopting extreme diets, living in fear, or restricting yourself so harshly that you lose the joy of living. Instead, it is about making deliberate, intelligent adjustments, one meal at a time, one fruit at a time, one decision at a time. It is about recognizing that certain fruits, once helpful in our youth, may now fuel inflammation, weaken circulation, or destabilize our blood sugar. But it is equally about embracing those fruits that heal, that protect, that strengthen, and that work in harmony with the aging body's changing needs. I have seen remarkable transformations that began with nothing more than a patient choosing to replace one type of fruit with another. A senior who once struggled with constant leg swelling after daily bowls of grapes found relief by switching to berries. Another patient who battled unstable blood sugar after enjoying his morning banana replaced it with half an avocado and found his energy more stable throughout the day. A woman terrified of her declining memory began adding pomegranate juice to her routine and, over time, found her mind sharper and her confidence stronger. These are not miracles. They are simply the natural outcomes of aligning our choices with our biology. And as your body begins to respond, as your mornings become easier, your steps more stable, your mind clearer, something else happens, something beautiful. You regain confidence. The anxiety that so often haunts seniors, fear of falling, fear of losing independence, fear of becoming a burden, begins to loosen its grip. Instead of shrinking your world, you expand it. Instead of retreating from activity, you engage with life again. That is the true victory in aging wisely. I often tell my patients that your legs are not just limbs. They are your freedom. The ability to rise from a chair without pain, to walk steadily through your neighborhood, to climb the stairs to your bedroom, these are not small privileges. They are the very foundation of your independence. And when we nourish our bodies in ways that support this strength, we do more than avoid discomfort, we preserve our dignity. It breaks my heart when seniors come to me after years of gradual decline, believing there is nothing more to be done. But it fills my heart with hope when I see those same individuals regain control through knowledge. This is why I share these truths with you now, not as someone trying to frighten you, but as someone who has sat with too many patients who could have been spared years of suffering had they only known what I know now. And so, I leave you with this simple truth: it is never too late to change. Whether you are 60, 70, 80, or beyond, your body remains capable of responding to wiser choices. Each decision you make today plants a seed for how you will feel next month, next year, and for many years to come. Do not wait for disease to force your hand. Choose now, while you still hold the power in your hands. I invite you to walk this journey of knowledge with me. Let us cast away the outdated assumptions that have misled too many for too long. Let us embrace a path where food is not just fuel, but medicine, carefully chosen medicine that respects the elegant, fragile machinery of the aging body. You have within you the power to age not only longer but better, with strength, stability, clarity, and joy. And if you found value in this conversation, if even one truth here has opened your eyes to possibilities you had not considered before, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Your support allows me, even in retirement, to continue sharing the knowledge I have gathered over a lifetime of caring for patients like you. Together, we can spread this wisdom to others who may still be trapped in confusion and fear. Now, as you reflect on all that you've learned today, I leave you with one final question, one that may shape how you approach the years ahead. Which is the greatest gift you can give your future self? A. Blind hope that things will somehow improve on their own. B. The quiet discipline of making small, informed choices starting today. Please share your answer, A or B, in the comments below. I read every response personally, and your voice matters more than you realize. Thank you for trusting me to walk this path with you. The journey of aging does not belong to fate, it belongs to wisdom, and wisdom begins with knowledge.